Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway here in Georgia, where tonight the Rivalz Blacktop Series will compete in race number 1 of the chase for the championship. Your top 16 drivers in the point standings coming into tonight will compete out here on the racetrack at Atlanta in round number 16 in the playoffs here, down to 12 drivers when we head to Auto Club California next week for a 50-lapper out there. So 75 laps is going to be the distance here tonight at Atlanta. And cars are getting gridded up here. And as we get ready to look at the starting lineup, we're going to let it scroll on through here. Dakota Ehrman and Tom Senchek are on the front row for tonight. And a driver who's been awfully darn close to getting a win here in the Rivalz Blacktop Series. I'm going to bring him in here to chat with him real quick here. Tom Senchek starting once again, sir, on the outside pole tonight. Is tonight the night we unleash the cork on the champagne bottle?
Oh, let's hope so. I feel like my car's a little tight in the long run, but tight car saves your tires a little bit, so hopefully we get that long run speed going. So let's hope so.
Tell us a little bit. I mean, the fall off here when the tires start wearing out is just crazy here at Atlanta. Yeah,
it's definitely dramatic. You might even see some guys using the brake going into 3 and 4 with that bump to save a little bit of that hook on the line there. So yeah, definitely might see some brakes.
All right, man. Good luck to you here tonight. And boy, tonight here, these guys going after round number 2 of the chase. You come into the night 13th in the point standings. Everybody gets preset to 1,000. Good luck to you here tonight.
Thanks, bud.
All right, there is Tom Senchek getting ready to go here tonight. Going to go away from the outside pole for tonight's 75-lapper here at Atlanta. You see the starting lineup rolling across your screen here. Steve Ovens, Brad Ovens, going to be in the control room for us here tonight from the 3-9 Production Studios. Coming to you live here on GeForce TV. From the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway field, rolling off here on the front straightaway. Next time by, they will go green flag racing. And again, your front row tonight, Dakota Ehrman in car number 07, starting alongside Tom Senchek, Daniel DeBlau, Claude Furland. Furland, who is riding a 3-race win streak here in the Rivalz Blacktop Series. They will make up row number 2, Mannix Richet, who comes into tonight as the point board car number 6. And Bruno Pichette going to make up that 3rd row. 4th row is the teammates. Will LaRue, the 55. That's the deputy. And the guy they're calling the sheriff, Jean Schweikart in car number 1. Starters will be Ivan Hebert and Trent Ringler. So field working through turns 3 and 4, getting ready to come to the green flag here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's the Rivalz Blacktop Series. Playoff round number 1, getting ready to kick off here from the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. Pace car, Ford Mustang GT pace car, pulls off of the racing surface in turn number 4. And the first round of the playoffs for the Rivalz Blacktop Series is green. Down the back chute they go for the first time. Guys trying to make some early moves here to move themselves up into position. Other guys tucking into line here. Ehrman will bring it off of turn number 4, and he will put Dakota Ehrman making his first Rivalz Blacktop Series start of the season. here in the first round of the playoffs will take the early lead down the back straightaway as Tom Senchek and the Budweiser. An ode to Bill Elliott and Junior Johnson's cars in that red Budweiser number 11. You're watching Mannix Richer work to the outside. Richer now getting a challenge here from Trent Ringler down on the bottom. Ringler, the five-star racing number 26. Down to the inside, they'll run through turns 1 and 2. John Schweikart coming right with Ringler down on the inside lane. As Senchek all over Dakota Ehrman down the back straightaway. That's a good battle for position going into turn number 3. Senchek will put it on the white line down on the bottom of the corner. Boy, that was close. Coming off of turn number 4, Senchek down to the bottom. And, oh, going to have to rely on timing and scoring for that one. It was Ehrman by 9/1000th of a second. As he will hold on to the lead, but Senchek is there off of turn 2. New race leader down the back straightaway. It's Tom Senchek in car number 11. Senchek down along the white line all the way through turns 3 and 4. He'll bring it off of turn 4 to put lap number 4 on the board. 4 and 73 to go. We get to about this point in the race here, 4 laps in, where these guys are starting to wear those tires down. Guys we were talking to in the garage area earlier today said that tires were falling off dramatically about 8 laps into the run. And Brad, I think that's going to be the key tonight is tire management, especially if we get a long green flag run at the end of this race.
Yeah, I think once you start seeing how those tires are going to affect the racing is when we get on guys on different pit cycles. If you've got somebody on fresh tires versus even a guy with 7 or 8 laps, it's close to a second or more of the actual time difference, which is just unthinkable how big of a swing that is. But I think it's really going to make the racing really, really good tonight.
We're watching Daniel DeBlau here in car number 17 as he has got a good run going. He has got company. Will LaRue down to the inside. The LaRue Motorsports Can-Am sponsor number 55 puts it down on the inside lane as you saw Trent Ringler get way outside going into the first turn that time. Almost caught the concrete. And DeBlau has got company. LaRue down to the inside trying to bring Schweikart with him. Schweikart and LaRue, the deputy and the sheriff, running nose to tail here as they slide down into turn number 1. And Ehrman right on the back bumper of your race leader. We got good battles all around here. One car out of shape. That's Marty Barnes in the 32. Barnes slid down onto the bottom of the tri-oval. He'll rejoin the racetrack in turn number 2, and we stay green. Of Tom Senchek as Senchek continues the lead here on lap number 8. Oh man, look at Ehrman as you ride on board here with the roof cam right up to the back bumper of Senchek. Interesting, Brad, that he's able to run up that close on Senchek's back bumper and not get aero tight at all. As you see Senchek have just a little bit of a twitch there. And Ehrman pulled right back up on him as you ride here on the end car with Ehrman.
Yeah, if you're able to watch Ehrman pull up right on the back bumper like that and not get tight, it's just showing me right now how good of a car Ehrman has to be able to be in that dirty air and still be able to have the grip and the bite and be able to turn the car and roll the center.
Oh, 100%. What's the toughest? I know, Brad, I know you've got some laps around this place. What's the toughest part about getting around Atlanta? You know, this very, very abrasive track surface.
I think the toughest part for even the most experienced guys is just that tire management. When you get this far into a run, you're 10 laps into a run, your tires are shot. They're screaming. They're yelling at you. They want some new rubber. They want to get off this thing. They want to get off the car. I think the hardest part is really right here, watching them come off the corner You just have to be so careful. The entry of the corner is not too bad. For me, it's typically right through the center of the corner, like right through here. You can see all the actual bumps and the curves and the character that's built into the Atlanta Motor Speedway here. Done such a well job by the iRacing folks. It's just so hard on these old tires to not let it get overboard. You can see we're racing in the daytime here, so the track's hot. It's really slick. Just not overdriving the car and just really being careful not to push the limits past where they're capable of going.
New race leader, Ehrman, goes back to the top of the board. Here on lap number 12, Senchek led 8 laps. Oh, look out! Senchek sideways off of turn 2. And Brad, I think he may have gotten into the wall. He'll lose the second spot to Will LaRue, and he's trying to bring John Schweikart with him. And boy, that would be a tough break for Senchek if he did get the fence, because that is going to upset the handling of that race car and the aerodynamics on the front end of that race car.
Yeah, it does look like the top right corner here, that right front fender, it's pushed up a little bit, so I'm thinking he did get a piece of the wall. Hopefully it's not too bad. It doesn't look like it's affecting the car too much right now, but the big concern I would have is whether or not the wheel's offset or any kind of front end damage like that. But definitely not something you want to do here early. Hopefully he'll be able to rebound and it won't affect him too bad.
Is it an automatic? Is it gonna go tight or loose on him here with that damage?
I think with the way the damage modeling is, I don't think it's really going to affect too much as far as the handling of the car. It seems to me like the damage model here in iRacing is more of a the more damage you have to your car, the actual overall speed of the car diminishes versus the actual true to life physics handling. It could be different. It could be different for every driver, but for me, more than anything, it's more of just the overall performance capability of the car seems to diminish with the higher percentage of damage to the car.
Let's take a peek back up here at the front pack is guys that were able tired.
As we watch the 26 here of Trent Ringler making his way through up through the field here, working his way back to the 55 of Will LaRue. See if he's got. Oh, we got a lap car in front of the leaders. That's a dangerous situation. As you see Ehrman go up high, Will LaRue's going to take a look down low. He's going to bring Trent Ringler with him. What a dangerous spot to be for those guys. Having the lap car come up across the track, that's the worst fear you could have in iRacing and in real life. As you see Trent Ringler, he's going to bring it down to pit road. He's on the brakes hard. He almost spins the car out. Wow, what a piece of driving by Trent Ringler to get that car on the pit road. Definitely going to want to come in for some tour tires now with those flat spots on the tire there. Hopefully we'll see he didn't pick up himself a pit road penalty there for entering too fast. Wow. Scary moment there for Trent Ringler. That could have been a game changer right there.
No doubt about it. Don't want to flat spot those tires, Brad, but they're going to change 4 tires. They're going to change 4 tires here on the pit stop. Ringler is down and away. Claude Ferlin going to follow him off of the pit lane. As right now the lead of the race has cycled around to the 55 of Will LaRue. And Will LaRue still on the racetrack. Dakota Ehrman brings it down pit road, and he's in pit box number 1. Ehrman coming down for 4 tires. Yes, and now here comes your race leader, Will LaRue. LaRue going to bring it down to the pit lane here off of turn number 4, and Schweikart's coming with him. Schweikart almost missed the pit lane. 50 miles an hour down the pit road here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And your teammates currently running 1 and 2 as we cycle around here in green flag pit stops. Will LaRue hits the box, Schweikart hits the box, and they will make it 4 tires and 2 cans of Sunoco fuel. Ivan Hebert, Kevin Ridley now cycle ahead to the front of the pack here as we are still working green flag pit stops. Hebert just coming down pit road now as LaRue beats Schweikart off the pit lane. Don't forget, folks, stage points are... Oh, Kevin Ridley misses the pit box. Oh, boy. He really had to throw it. He's going to lose a ton of time there. And now he's in the pit lane to get service on that Custom Works RC cars, number 20. Frank Guerri Jr. out of Seneca Falls, right now your race leader, and he is going to come down the pit lane. He's going to bring the Fred's Fab and Fold 113. Brad, he's sliding the tires too.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's such an easy thing to
do.
Caution comes out as they hit the pit lane. Yellow flag is out for the first time tonight. Comes out on lap number 20.
Oh, boy. And I think Larry drove right straight down the pit lane, Brad. I don't even think he stopped for service.
He did. He kept going. I'm not sure about that. If I were Frank Guerri Jr., I would have wanted to made that pit stop, but you were already on pit road with the lead. It may have cycled him back through when the leaders came back by. He may have lost the lead, but actually, you know what? I'm not sure how this is going to work out because those guys aren't going to have to pit now, and he is still going to have to pit. So I'm not really sure how that would have worked out, but I guess we're about to find out.
I think we're about to find out. Kevin Ridley came back down the pit lane in the 20. I'm wondering if maybe he didn't have to come back and serve a penalty, as they're going to come across the start-finish line this time, and we can kind of sort out the scoring here to see where everybody rests here. And it is going to show, Brad, it is going to show Frank Guerri at the top of the board. So while we have an opportunity here under the yellow, Brad, we want to go side by side.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go side by side here and hear this great message brought to you by GeForce TV. Don't forget to subscribe to GeForce TV on YouTube, youtube.com/GeForce TV. Stay tuned. You're watching live coverage of the Rivalz Blacktop Series at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Stay tuned.
Introducing GeForce TV. GeForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GeForce TV is also the new home for Rivalz Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GeForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivalz and GeForce TV racing leagues. GeForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GeForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GeForce TV.
And we are back here from the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Brad, Frank Guerri on the pit road, and he, I think, is serving a penalty here.
You know, I think what may have happened to Frank, although I'm not entirely sure, because I know Jim Smith Jr. Pitted at the same time that Frankie did, and he's actually out on the track here, listed in 6th. I was wondering if maybe Frankie got a entering the closed pit violation, but that's an end of the line penalty. So I'm not really sure what happened to Frankie here. I think if he'd have made a pit stop at the same time as Jamal and those guys, I think he would have stayed out right around the 5th or 6th place. So we'll have to see if we can figure that out.
Yeah, let's bring him in and find out here. We're going to bring Frank Wary into the broadcast booth as we work yellow flag here at Atlanta. Frank, man, I thought that was going to work out for you. What happened?
I thought it was going to work out, too. I ended up running out of gas. But what are you going to do? You take that gamble, and didn't pay off today.
All right, man. So that was the situation. We were wondering if it was some kind of penalty that had you on pit road, but you're in the process of towing back.
I just got done towing, doing the pit service right now. I think I'll only be 1 lap down, maybe 2. But, with the race, the way this race is going, hopefully I can get.
All right, man. Good luck to you here the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys.
So there you have it, Brad. Wow. That wasn't just bad luck. It was bad luck times 10. Ran out of gas.
That was bad luck times 2. Not stopping the first time through pit road and then running out of gas before you make it back to pit road. Man, we've said it before, not even here on iRacing, but if Frank Wary doesn't have bad luck, he ain't got no luck at all.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He'll rejoin the pack now, and I think he's only going to be shown a lap down to the field here as we take a look at the timing and scoring. Yeah, right now it shows him only a lap down. We'll see what the transponder says after he comes back by here on the front straightaway. We talked about Kevin Ridley that came in. He did have to serve a 40-second penalty, Brad, so Ridley had to come back in after his pit stop. That has trapped him a lap down, as well as Callum McNichol, George Savard, Kyle Rochelle, Frank Wary, Sylvan Jolie, Marty Barnes, Casey Sowich. Barnes and Sowich start the cars at 2 laps down. So, and Sowich had a problem getting on the pit lane. I overheard on a radio conversation with Adam Ross. He was following Sowich into the pits, and Sowich got sideways entering pit road and got into the wall on pit road. So that's what's trapped Big Bacon 2 laps down here. As we come back to the green off turn number 4, Trent Ringler brings them back. 26 laps now on the board, and that will give us 49 to go. And don't forget, folks, we have got the stage break as well tonight that will be upcoming. And yellow lights are back on almost immediately.
And boy, I'll tell you what, Steven, that is a huge break for some of these guys. At least one, the first guy a lap down here, looks like might be Martin Davio or Callum McNichol. They'll get the wave around on this, but I'm not sure if everybody else will get the wave around on this if the leaders don't pit or not, but could be a sign of things to come, maybe.
All right, man. Why don't we pop in and hear listen into what the LaRue team is talking about as we work early here under our second yellow flag of the night.
I'll tell you what, some of these guys need to get their heads out of their asses. If they could at least just practice a little bit, they would be half-ass okay. But no, they want to jump in here just during the race and just, hey, send me a setup, and then come in and destroy people that actually have a chance. It just pisses me off.
Yep.
I mean, we spend at least 6 or 7 hours fine-tuning a set, and we get junked by somebody that comes in here and just, yeah, let me just try and see what I can do.
Well, Brad, that's some pretty interesting radio right there. I think that everybody's a little bit on edge tonight because tonight is the first round of the playoffs, and I think that's got everybody up on the chip, especially guys in that LaRue team that know they've got a huge opportunity here to move on to the next round of 12 next week at California.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing worse than than going through a whole season here on the iRacing platform and having something silly like that happen, or, you know, I mean, there's a lot at stake here, you know. I mean, you think about it, it's an entire season's worth of work, you know, you're putting on the line here. So
Yeah, I think we might have lost Brad there momentarily as we work under the yellow flag here. Working caution. Oh.
So I do see here, Stephen, that it does look like Callum McNichol got his lap back. That actually puts Kevin Ridley back on the bubble. Or actually, excuse me, it puts John Schweikart right on the bubble for the next lucky dog. Or Kevin Ridley, they keep bouncing back and forth here. Kevin Ridley, Frank Werry, Martin Davio, the top three on the bubble, a lap down for the lucky dog. Should another caution come out here. So we're going to have two battles. We're going to have a battle up front, and we're going to have the guys battling for that lucky dog position.
Yeah, they're getting doubled up here, but we're still a lap away from going back to green. One driver that's been on the move here so far tonight is Jim Smith Jr. Started 18th tonight. He's currently up to the 5 spot in car number 12. And Jamal, man, what a run to the front here tonight.
Yeah, so far it's been pretty good. Maybe got a little bit lucky on the pit stalls. I actually wanted to come in a lap before I did, but some of the cars that came out on new tires, I couldn't get to the bottom, so I had to go run another lap and, you know, came out and had the caution, and now hopefully I can do some good here by the end of the stage. But so far, the car's not bad, just trying to stay out of stuff.
Yeah, man, I think that's going to be one of the keys tonight, just keeping that nose clean and being there at the end. We were talking to Tom Senchek earlier tonight about just how dramatic these tires fall off over the course of a run. Is there any way that you can try and put that into words to describe that to the fans watching tonight?
Well, it's you know, at the first 3 or 4 laps, 5 laps, you know, if you're like on fire, you can hold it right onto the floor, let up a little bit, you're sticking, you know, to where you're supposed to, and then like it hits a wall like lap 7, 8, and it's like you're half throttle all the way through the corners, and you're pushing up to the wall, or you're, you know, almost spinning out. So it is a pretty dramatic drop off, you know, right in about 6, 7 laps.
All right, man. Well, we're about a third, just past a third of the way through this one. You've clawed from 18th to 5th. Little luck there on the pit stops. Good luck to you here the rest of the way.
10-4, thank you.
All right, there's Jim Smith Jr. running in the 5th spot as he'll restart on the inside of row number 3 here for this restart. Lights are off on the pace car. Ford Mustang GT pace car getting ready to pull in off of turn number 4. We will put lap number 31 on the board when they come back this time by. Pace car pulls off. Green lights are back on. Everybody climbing through the gears as they take it down toward turn number 1. And right now, Trent Ringler shown at the top of the leaderboard. In car number 26, the 5-Star Racing sponsored ride. Mannix Richet, who came into tonight as the points leader before the points reset, currently working on Jim Smith, working on Jamal's back bumper there going into turn number 3. And right behind Richet is the 11 of Tom Senchek. Senchek, who's got more second place finishes than anybody in the series up to this point of the Rivalz Blacktop Series season. And he is trying to follow Mannix Richet down to the inside. Richet cracks into the top 5, and here comes Senchek in the Budweiser number 11. Senchek down to the inside, trying to get a little side draft off of Smith as they go to turn number 3. Senchek puts it right on the white line through 3 and 4. We heard them talk about this here with Jamal here on the radio, talking about how that first 7, 8 laps of the run, you can pretty much run flat foot and keep it on that line as best you can. And that's what they're trying to do right now. We got a battle back here in the pack. Watching the 81 of Martin Davio, working on the 21. Oh, look out, contact, and 2 cars are around. That's the battle for the lucky dog, Brad. And it looks like Davio's got the spot.
And we don't
No
have a
yellow
caution
flag
yet.
yet.
Those
Yeah,
cars
no
may be
yellow
far
flag
enough
yet.
off the track that it may not trigger an automatic yellow from iRacing. So we're clean and green.
So we are clean and green as they work through 1 and 2. Keeping an eye on this battle for the lucky dog spot. Martin Davio currently the first car a lap down. As we take a peek back up front, Ivan Hebert in the 28, running in position number 3, bringing the 3 straight wins driver with him, Claude Ferlin, in the Accent LED sponsor number 43. Mannix Richer right behind him in car number 6. That's your top 5 as they run. Ringler out to an 0.8 of a second lead here as we are working this second run of tires and fuel. Won't be too much further away from our second round of pit stops on the night. Keep it, and there's your yellow. Yellow lights are on. Third caution of the race. And that's going to slow us down here on lap number 36. And Martin Davio, Brad, will be your lucky dog. First car a lap down.
Now this is where it's really going to become an interesting part of the decision-making process for Kevin Ridley and Frank Guerreri. Do you stay out on the tires you've got and you get the wave around and wait for the next caution or the stage break? Or do you keep going on what you've got, make the pit stop, and hope to fight for the lucky dog for the next yellow?
Want to take a peek there, take a listen, and maybe they're even talking about that right now.
Did this cat stay out?
Oh, what the hell?
At least he didn't brag about it.
Yeah, don't
Can't
worry.
even take
I'll
the
take,
waiver out.
I'll take care of him. Yeah, because this cat didn't pit up here, did he?
Nope. 707 Dakota.
Aw, Jim, you fucker.
Just got you a little bit. I saw you.
Well, Brad, it looks like they are going to take the wave around.
Yes, I believe it looks like I believe they would have to pit this time if they were planning on pitting. And actually, you know what? It actually, with Dakota Ehrman staying on the racetrack, that actually may foil their plan. They're going to have to hit pit road right now because with Ehrman staying on the track, he's a lead lap car that would actually throw that off. They actually wouldn't be able to get the wave around. In order to get the wave around, the lead lap cars would all have to pit in front of them, and then they would get the wave around. So actually, with the Ehrman staying out, that actually foiled that whole plan if that's what they were planning on doing.
What a bummer. Wow. So that's a tough break, and, you know, assuming... So there's only 3 cars that are 1 lap down to the field. Kevin Ridley, Frank Guerreri, and Kyle Rochelle. So they don't necessarily have to worry about that.
Which,
Now,
I guess
Brad,
my
talk
biggest
about this-
question would be is, what's Ehrman staying out on? What's he got that he feels like he can stay out on? Because right now I'm not entirely sure, but I think he's got at least 7, 8 lap old tires. I would expect
Under green.
him. Yeah. I would expect him to go out and, man, I don't know. That's a gutsy call unless you think there's another yellow that's about to come out soon. But that's a big call right there.
Putting you in the driver's seat, Brad, I don't know that you agree with the call.
I definitely would not. You know, I could see if it was a situation of him being the leader and everybody ducked in the pit road behind him, and you kind of get burned that way. But I'm pretty sure he was farther back in the pack, and he saw everybody pit and chose not to pit. The other thing I was going to think of is maybe he would duck into pit road here right before we go green and pit to take tires to try and stretch the fuel mileage game, but he's not even going to do that. So I'm completely stumped and puzzled on what exactly the strategy is here with the Ehrman car.
You know, Brad, there's a lot of racetracks that I would say I like the strategy call. I like, you know, getting off kilter a little bit. But I got to tell you, man, I don't think Atlanta Motor Speedway is a place that I want to do that. Not with as old as this racing surface is and as abrasive this racetrack is to tires. Ooh, woof.
Yeah, that's a gutsy call if that's what it is. He must have some sort of plan of either short pitting. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't run enough laps here in the B car to really know what a good fuel mileage range is, but I'm going to guess it's somewhere between 18 to 20, 22 laps maybe a little more. So it may be a strategy call just to try and stretch it out and make a short pit here.
All right, green lights are back on. We're back underway here at Atlanta. Dakota Ehrman chooses to stay on the racetrack. Declines the opportunity to come down pit road. Trent Ringler's got fresher tires on the outside. Oh, Ringler got way outside in turn number 1. He's going to lose 4 or 5 spots off of turn number 2. Didn't expect that to happen. Ringler's had a fast car all night long tonight. And just that one little miscue drops him back from a battle for the lead to now a battle for 7th.
And that's just how quick it can happen here with those fresh tires. You heard Jamal say you can really almost flat-foot it there in the beginning of the run, but you really got to get at least half a lap or a full lap on those tires. Get some heat built in them before they do that with this new tire model. They've really got a really good design, and if you get too high there, as the yellow flag comes out once again, this may actually work out for Ridley and those guys again.
Wow, and you know who it's going to work out for too, Brad? I think it's going to work out for Dakota Ehrman, because now I feel like the guys running behind him are in a spot where I don't know that those guys are going to want to stay on the racetrack. I feel like everybody's got to come down pit road for 4 tires. I really do.
You know, with only having a lap and a half on the tires, I don't know if it's a necessity that you would have to. But at this point in time, I think it's probably worth a gamble. And with tires being a premium like they are, if the leader does come in, I would expect to see everybody on the lead lap come in. Because if you can get fresh tires on the car, the longer you can keep those fresh ones on, fresh Goodyear rubber on the car, the better off you're going to be. And Ehrman doesn't even look like he's going to come to pit road.
Wow. Wow.
Let's check and see. I believe pit road should be open this lap as they've got the pace car. That's interesting. I don't know what to say to that.
It may have been closed. I guess that's possible, but
we'll have to see. Typically, once the pace car picks up the leader, usually it's that lap that they'll open pit road, but it could be just a fact of, as actually you see, here goes Ridley by with a lucky dog free pass, so I'm not entirely sure.
Well, how about that break for Kevin Ridley, Brad? Not only did he get to come down and get 4 fresh tires, he only had to put a lap or 2 on them before the yellow flag came back out. Now gets the lucky dog. And for guys that, you know, may try to take the wave around here, they've now got fresh tires to do it. Couldn't have worked out better for them.
Yeah, we'll see. With LaRue up on the high side there, doesn't look like he's interested in making a pit stop. Ehrman rides around the white line. But,
yeah, certainly doesn't appear that way.
It doesn't even look like Ehrman's really preparing himself to hit the pit road. Is he's going to keep it on the racetrack? And man, I tell you, I don't know what. It's got to be some sort of a fuel mileage stretch game for Ehrman to try and stretch it to. He's got to be going for a certain number of laps. I don't know if these cautions are really going to hurt his strategy, if that's what it is, or if it's helping. I feel like it's probably going to hurt it. I would want to run more green flag laps if I was going to try and make a fuel mileage stretch, because this is helping everybody else around him that's got the fresh tires and the full tank of fuel already. So
why don't we ride on board with him and see just how much saving he's doing there in the 07. We're going to ride on board here with Dakota Ehrman. And, yep, definitely not shutting it off completely, though.
No, he's just using the clutch method. He is definitely keeping the RPMs down there to, looks like he's probably somewhere around the 4th gear there with around 3,000 RPM. But, yeah, he's definitely working that car to get the fuel mileage up there. So that actually may be what he's trying to do here. It may be a fuel mileage stretch for Dakota Ehrman here. We'll have to see.
Well, we'll see how it works out. They should come down this time by to get the 1-to-go signal, as any of the cars that are going to be taking the wave around will get their opportunity to roll on by here. And Dakota Ehrman trying to stretch the gas here in the 07 machine. Don't forget, he started on the pole tonight. Fastest car in the place, was so close to dipping into the 29-second bracket. Ehrman with a 30.001 second lap in time trials. That was 17/100ths of a second faster than Will LaRue, who's currently running in position number 2. So your front row starters, LaRue was 17/100ths slower. He actually started in position number 7 here tonight. So Ehrman, LaRue, Claude Ferlin, Tom Senchek, and Mannix Richet, who came in tonight as the points leader in car number 6. Of course, being the points leader tonight doesn't really make a difference because everybody in the top 16 that are a part of the chase tonight got reset to 1,000 points. They are awarding stage points tonight after they determine the stage points and the race order points after the race is over tonight. We will trim this field from 16 cars down to 12. Those 12 cars will compete at the Auto Club California Speedway next Wednesday night for a 50-lap affair out in California. That is the round of 12, and then the championship round of 8 is at the Phoenix International Raceway on Wednesday, April 15th for 100 laps. Green lights are back on. Dakota Ehrman trying to stretch the gas and the tires, leads them back into turns 1 and 2. LaRue gonna tuck into line here, running in the 2 spot. And I think the strategy right now for Ehrman is he is gonna want to try and keep that car behind him as long as he possibly can, as Adam Ross makes a run down here on the bottom of Jim Smith Jr. off turn number 4. Ross will pick up a spot. That'll move him into position number 10. So Adam Ross cracks into the top 10 for the first time tonight. He's got the 19 of Gilliam Levesque on his back bumper. Levesque looks like he might have just a little bit of damage on the front end of that machine. They're coming around the 53 car going a lap down. That is Sawyer Ott. So Sawyer Ott going to fall a lap down to the field, and he is right there mixed up into the top 5 as we got a battle for the lead. Will LaRue down to the inside in turn number 1. Trying to take the lead away from Dakota Ehrman. Ehrman tried to get to the right rear quarter to slow LaRue down. Could not make it work. You've got a new race leader off turn number 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steven, having that lap car in the middle of them, 3 wide into turn number 3. Woo. Wow, that's got to have these guys up on edge. I'll tell you right now, the racing's close enough, but man, you throw a lap car in there, and if he's got fresh tires, he's going to start eating these guys up, which is really going to be a pain.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As let's ride on board here with Mannix Richet, as he has got the 26 of Ringler behind him. He's got Tom Senchek out in front of him. As you see Ringler pulling up alongside Richet going down into turn number 3. That is a battle for position number 4. Senchek has it. Richet trying to hold on Ringler, and now we get the yellow flag. Yellow lights are back on here on lap number 52. Caution flag coming back out. Pace car will pick up the field on the back straightaway. as we go under the yellow here for the 5th time tonight. Will LaRue, Dakota Ehrman, your top 2 cars. Let's see if we get any action here on the pit lane. I feel like we probably will. Looks like Will LaRue's going to make a pit stop here. And yes, everybody coming down pit road. All the leaders coming in. 19 of Gilliam Levesque stays out on the racetrack. Not sure if that's a strategy call or what that is.
You know, Steven, I'm kind of starting to think here. Maybe Dakota Ehrman, I think this strategy, if he was trying to pull the fuel mileage strategy, I think it's kind of out the window now. But the fact that he stayed up front with the leaders and now he's able to pit, he's going to be on the same tires and same fuel run that they are. That's impressive.
And he might win the race off of pit road. Oh! Wow. You definitely saw the benefit there, Brad, of having pit stall number 1. And boy, I think that was close coming out of the pits. We'll have to wait and see here. It looks like LaRue may have beaten him off of pit road, but boy, I question whether or not they were going too fast, because LaRue was hauling the mail coming off of pit road. And the battle is going to be to that first white line right there. Oh boy, LaRue, I think, just got him. Let's watch it again in slow-mo. Yeah. I think he's got him by just not even a couple inches there, Brad. That was close. That was real close.
And it's so easy coming off pit road there when you're trying to race a guy out. You know, you stop looking at the tach. You're just focusing on that other car. So, pretty impressive bit of driving from our guys here with the Rivalz Blacktop Series tonight.
And I know that we've said it a bunch, Brad, but boy, some of the pit strategy calls, I don't necessarily follow along with them all that well, because I'm having trouble trying to figure out what Gilliam Levesque's strategy might be here in the 19. I mean, everybody on the lead lap came down the pit lane for 4 tires and gas. Levesque stays on the racetrack. He has made 3 pit stops here tonight. And I think as compared to Will LaRue, I think LaRue may have been down pit lane 4 times tonight with this most recent pit stop. Ehrman currently in the 3rd position. Claude Ferlin running in 4th. Trent Ringler is 5th. Down to the line, lap 54 goes on the board. 21 laps to go, and this should be what should be the final pit stop of the night for these guys. Although, Brad, if we go 10 laps here, catch another yellow with 10 to go, boy, is that going to make some for some rather difficult decisions.
Yeah,
just from a tire perspective.
I kind of feel like if you get that opportunity, I think that's where the games are going to come into it here, to see who comes in and who might try and stay out, or we've seen it before, the 2-tire stop. And it looks like, looking through my feed here, it looks like Gilliam Levesque was last on pit road on lap 38. Lap 38 for Gilliam Levesque, which would put a 16-lap run on those tires. If wow, that's impressive.
Absolutely. All right, coming back to green, this time off turn number 4, the Ford Mustang GT pace car pulls off of the pit into the pit lane off turn 4. Coming back to green, we're back underway here at Atlanta.
Oh boy. Wow, you saw LaRue really get out there on that start. He had to be really careful. Gilliam Levesque really playing the restart card there on Will LaRue. You cannot cross that line before the leader does. If you had the outside guy starting second, killed any kind of run Will LaRue would have had into turn 1. Gilliam Levesque pulls out to a nice, comfortable lead here going into turn number 3.
And it really killed the momentum that LaRue had built up there on the restart as Dakota Ehrman drives by. Ehrman's going to take over position number 2 as we now put 56 laps on the board, 19 to go, and Gilliam Levesque out front trying a very, very off-kilter pit strategy to try to pick up the win here tonight at Atlanta.
Oh, we got cars going around towards the back. Yellow
Ridley's
flag's going
involved.
to come out.
Spencer Mullins involved.
And I'll tell you, Steven, not only did that throw a corkscrew into, or throw Will LaRue for a corkscrew, but that actually affects the whole outside line because they could see it happening. The outside line just could not get going. Gilliam Levesque really playing some strategy there on the restart. We'll see what happens now because with that quick yellow like that, I'd be a little afraid if I were Gilliam Levesque if I didn't make a pit stop, and some of those guys even did pit behind me, even though we didn't get a whole lot of laps run on those tires. But a lot of strategy calls going to have to be made here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. I would assume that Levesque's going to have to make a pit stop here. I just don't see how he's going to be able to try and go that far, and he will. And Brad, look, oh, Ehrman faked out there. I was going to say, that would have really surprised me to see everybody come down again. But, Brad,
Yeah.
we've got a couple of cars in the back half of the top 10. Now, that is not that much of a surprise.
No, to see the guys up towards the front, probably positions 2 through 8, I wouldn't expect those guys to make a pit stop. But the guys from probably, I would say probably 9th on back, you've got nothing to lose. If the car's not handling quite right, come in, get some fresh rubber, make an adjustment to the car to maybe help the car. And I wouldn't expect you to lose a ton of positions. You might give up 3 or 4 positions, but having that fresh rubber when you come out, I mean, tires really do make that much of a difference when, you know, 3 cars to pass on fresh tires is nothing here at Atlanta.
Well, let me give you a good example of a guy that came down pit lane, and I absolutely love the call. Adam Ross comes down the pit lane. Now, Brad, Adam came into the playoffs tonight in the second to last spot. He was the second to last driver to get into the playoffs. And here with just about 15 laps to go or so, comes down the pit lane to make a pit stop. Adam Ross, we'll welcome him into the broadcast booth real quick. And Adam, I got to tell you, man, I love the call to come down pit lane here with just about 15 to go.
You know, I think for the guys at the front, if they want to make it the whole way, they're going to have to conserve a little bit. I know we've got some caution laps, but yeah, I feel better. But I'm only losing, 3 rows of starting spots, but I can drive the car as hard as I want. It's been a wild one. No yellows for the first half of the race, and now all we've done is run pace laps.
Now, you know, in a driver that, you know, let's put it this way, a driver in your situation tonight, you came into tonight, you qualified for the playoffs coming in 15th in points, so now you're going to be able to drive the car the way that you want to. Fuel's not a concern, certainly, and now trying to drive up to be one of those 12 cars to make it to next week. Brad and I were just saying it here, man. We love the call, and we hope it works out for you.
Hey, thanks so much. The big thing was getting stage points. Being in the top 10 at lap 37, so we know we got some stage points. That's a little bit of a cushion. Watching some of the heavy hitters fall out, Sylvain Jolie and John Schweikart have their troubles. So yeah, now it's just try to get all the positions we can, but man, oh man, it's competitive out here. So much fun.
Absolutely, man. Good luck to you here the rest of the way.
Cheers. Enjoy the show.
Well, Brad, that is definitely one story that I myself missed on here a little bit earlier in the race. Sylvain Jolie has had problems, 33 laps down to the field. John Schweikart had problems. He's 30 laps down to the field. Alex Labbe also has had his challenges, although I don't believe he was in the top 16. He had some missed races there in the middle portion of the season. But that is a huge story. John Schweikart, one of the dominators of the division here this season, always in the top 5, running top 10, having a good run, battling for a win, currently in position number 31. And I'm not sure if that's going to be able to get the job done. Kevin Ridley had problems of his own, Brad. I think he disconnected right out of the session as he was caught up in that last accident. He's now 3 laps down in 24th. Not out of it yet, but boy, it's going to be a long road to hoe depending on where he got stage points from.
Yeah, that's really tough. A really big shakeup here with those guys. We'll have to see what happens come the end of the event here.
All right, pace car pulls back off of the racetrack. Green lights are back on. Much better restart for Dakota Ehrman that time. He's going to lead them here off of turn number 4 and down into 1. Will LaRue tucks into line with that 55 machine. He's running in second. Third is Trent Ringler as they work off turn 2. Claude Furland right now running in the 3 spot. Mannix Richer right behind him in car number 6.
I'll tell you what, Steven, a guy who's got a really good car today is Trent Ringler. He looks underneath Will LaRue coming off of turn number 4. Try to get that run down through the dog leg here into turn number 1. He's the only driver so far that I've seen tonight with a lap time of 30.2, a lap time less than 30.3, so he's got a strong car here tonight.
Absolutely. Ringler's up to the 2 spot. The question is, though, can he make these tires last to have the best run here at the end? He's going to close in on Ehrman in the 07. And Brad, aero tight? What aero tight? Ringler right to the back bumper as they come across the line to put lap number 63 on the board. We've got 12 to go here live from Atlanta Motor Speedway on G-Force TV. And Ringler, look out!
Boy.
Sideways off of turn number 2. He'll gather it back in, and Brad, amazingly, he's only going to lose maybe a spot in the situation. Wow.
Yeah, that's such a tough spot for Ringler to be in. You want to push the car. You want to push the car. You know he's got a good car. It's just one of those things with the track surface being as hot as it is. You just can't over-push the car, and I'll tell you, after a long slide like that, it may take him a lap or 2 to get those tires cooled back down from that long slide like that. It is really amazing how these tires will heat up after a slide like that, or if you get out really loose. It does happen to affect the handling of the race cars, so be interesting to see. He's going to have to really reel it in and try and put together another run here at Ehrman.
He's definitely going to have to do that. And Brad, what was incredible about that is talk about car control. And look at him. He's going to take a peek down low off turn 2. I don't think he's going to have enough steam to make it happen that time. Actually, he will.
He's got the nose there.
Alongside.
He's got the position going into 3. You saw him through 1 and 2. I don't know if we'll see it this time. If he can clear LaRue through the dog leg here on the front stretch, or excuse me, the quad oval on the front stretch. It's not quite a dog leg. He'll come into the corner, and he runs a little bit higher right there through the center of the corner. He'll run up high, and it's almost like he's running a diamond off the corner to be able to get that run down low. As you see, he's taking a look on Ehrman to see if he can get that run. I would expect maybe something off of turn 2 this time.
Yeah, turn 2 is Ben Ringler's bread and butter here, trying to slice his way through the pack. And Brad, the guy that we haven't talked about a whole lot here, Claude Furland, coming in, winning 3 races in a row coming into tonight. He has just been a snake in the weeds here late in this race. And now he is trying the same line that Ringler was using.
Yeah, you can definitely see Claude up there using that late entry with an early exit, really trying to set up the corner to try and get that run, get a big run coming off down the hill to get the run down the backstretch. You know, that's just a textbook case of how to make a pass here at Atlanta, Charlotte, a lot of these tracks that have this configuration at Texas. You know, just a really slick move. You really have to have a good car underneath you to make that work. As you saw Ringler get loose the one time, it's such an easy thing to do, to just step over that line, just a whisker.
field, works their way through turns 3 and 4, and it is Trent Ringler all over the back of Dakota
here it
Ehrman.
comes.
And here he comes, takes it down to the inside lane. Going to try and put the 26 up front as they go to turn number 1. Ringler down to the bottom. Ehrman really widens his line into turn number 1. And boy, Brad, I don't know if that was going to work out or not. Ringler and Ehrman side by side as they go to turn number 3, battling for the lead. And now here comes Will LaRue down to the inside. Ehrman way upstairs.
Ringler's going to want to clear him, and he does. It's such a tough thing when you make that move on the inside going into the corner here. You don't have the racetrack to work with. You saw Ringler kind of scooch up the track toward Ehrman and kind of drove Ehrman a little higher on the racetrack. Nothing intentional. Just one of those things that, you know, it's so hard to get underneath the guy and keep the car underneath you and not drive into the guy on the outside of you. And you see what happens, you know. You break that momentum, and then you've got 3 guys trying to go 3 wide. As Ringler really starting to put it out front here. And Will LaRue's really going to want to get around Ehrman here really quick or try and put a move on him to get up there because Ringler's set here to check out.
And how huge is clean air right now for Trent Ringler, Brad? I mean, that's got to be just absolutely, you know, giving him a monster run.
Claude Furlan in the wall. He's still bouncing off the wall.
Bounces off the concrete as they go to turn number 3. He's going to lose the top 5 spot to Ivan Hebert. And now the yellow flag comes out.
Wow.
Yellow lights are on.
I'll tell you, that was a hard hit for Claude Furlan there. He really bounced it off the wall 2 or 3 good times there. I'd be concerned. I'd be if I were the crew chief on that car, I'd be checking the center stripe on the steering wheel to make sure that steering's not off foot or off center from where it was.
Wow. Oh my. And now that, Brad, that sets us up, it's probably going to put us into a green-white checkered finish. So Trent Ringler and Brad, I just taken a peek at the running order. We talked to Adam Ross there before that pit stop. He pitted from 15th. He picked off 5 cars. He's up to 10th with those fresh tires. What a move. What a pit call. And now look. Oh, no. Ringler stays on the racetrack. Dakota Ehrman and Will LaRue come down the pit lane, and everybody else stayed on the racetrack, Brad.
We're going to take a look at the replay here. Did Ringler fake them out, or did they just not... Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
Wow, Ringler. Well, you know, I don't know. With only 2 cars making the pit road, you know, that's a lot. They're going to lose a lot of positions on this. I think that was a gutsy call on Ehrman and Will LaRue's part, but I think they expected more cars to come to pit road with them. So we're going to have to see, because that could be a dangerous call here.
Wow.
Although, I will say, let's take a look here and see the last pit stop for those guys. We look at Ringler, last pit stop on lap 61, so that is actually a full 10-lap run, along with all the other cars in front of him here. So we'll have to see. I mean, that's a 10 laps on the tires. That's, you know, it could be the difference maker, but they've got a lot of work with a green-white checkered.
Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna really need some help here. I mean they're gonna need multiple attempts at a green-white checkered to just even try to sniff the top 10. I mean, there's 18 cars on the lead lap. Casey Sowich, I believe, is going to be the car that's going to get the waiver or the lucky dog here on this yellow. Wow. So Trent Ringler will be leading the pack back to the green-white checkered finish, and the guy that came into tonight as the points leader before the points were reset to 1,000, Mannix Richer, in car number 6. We'll start on the outside of the front row for the green-white checkered finish. Ivan Hebert, Claude Furlan, and Brad, I don't know if we'll be able to get an angle of it, but Furlan got into the concrete there before that yellow flag came out. And I believe he may have, oh yeah, look at that damage. That's pretty significant here at a 1.5 miles like Atlanta.
Yeah, that's That's definitely going to hurt him. Like I said, I would be more concerned with the steering wheel. Usually the first sign of having some major problems with suspension, as far as suspension goes, is that steering wheel being off center. I know a lot of these guys, though, they tend to run with the steering wheel a little off center to the left here. So let's see, coming down the straightaway here. That's a lot of left input. I wouldn't be half suspicious to know that he might have a little bit of damage there. But with a green-white checkered, you know, even if you walk away with a top 10 finish with a hurt race car, that's still a good day on anybody's part. I think it would be enough to transfer.
And Brad, the pit call of the night, I think right now has got to go to Gilliam Levesque and Adam Ross, currently 6th and 8th in the running order. Those are the kind of moves that seem gutsy at the time, but those are the kind of moves that you've got to make in these playoff races if you want to transfer to the next round. And Adam Ross, after picking up stage points earlier tonight and just putting himself in position here at the end of this race, is almost going to guarantee himself a spot in the round of 12 when we go to California next week. Huge. And for Gilliam Levesque, he came into the night. He was just on the outside of getting into the chase tonight. So Levesque, not a chase car necessarily, but out of the cars up there in the top 6 spots, he's got to be the one with the freshest tires. But it's going to be a green-white checkered finish. Pace car peels off the racetrack in turn number 4. Green-white checkered finish, attempt number 1 is underway.
Oh, boy.
And we've got one car sliding through the grass. Jim Smith Jr. got loose, spun the tires. One car went down into the infield.
Oh, they're wrecking in the back of the pack.
Yep. And the yellow is out. Caution flag here on our first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. And I believe it was Daniel DeBlau that got involved in that one. In the 17. Wow. Gilliam Levesque has moved all the way from 6th to 3rd on that restart, putting himself in position to try and make something happen here at the end of this race. Brad taking a look here, see if we've got any kind of replay to show you what put us under this yellow flag here, as we're now going to make our second of 3 potential attempts at a green-white checkered finish. Brad, walk us through what you got.
As we see, they're going to come in. It looks like Frank Worry may have gotten the outside wall coming into one a little bit, and looks like he may have upset the car, the handling a little bit, and looks like I think he might have gotten into Martin Davio there and coming into the corner, and just one of those unfortunate incidents for Frank Worry that not having the night he would want to have.
Was able to continue on. They might have a little damage on the door there, but here for a green-white checkered finish, no harm, no foul there. Now, oh my goodness, Brad, Gilliam Levesque is on the pit lane. Oh my. Gilliam Levesque was up to position number 3. I don't understand. Maybe didn't have enough gas. Oh my goodness, Brad. He was up to 3rd. He restarted 6th. And he just brought it down the pit lane.
Yeah, that could be one of those things that if he didn't have enough gas, you know, these green-white checkers extended out so far, he may have been able to make that finish, but it takes a lot of gas to pace around Atlanta Motor Speedway for 3 or 4 laps and then have to make a green-white checkered. So I'm going to guess he was running out of gas there.
I'm wondering, though, Brad, because he didn't pit all that long ago. I'm wondering if they didn't put enough fuel in the car when he made his last pit stop. I don't know. Because I feel like he pitted much later than everybody else did. I thought he had fresh tires there.
I'm showing the last pit stop that Gilliam Levesque made. Looks like it was on lap 57. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So I'm thinking he was probably trying to hopefully squeak it in there with a green, white checkered, and just not going to happen tonight.
Yeah. Well, now it makes you wonder about our leaders here, Brad. Let's ride on board with Trent Ringler. Let's dial up the in-car and see if maybe conservation mode here. It certainly looks like he is.
It definitely sounds like he's just coasting around in fourth gear. I don't really see or hear any evidence of any real hard fuel conservation going on with Trent.
Okay.
We'll check Yvonne. He's definitely not in conservation mode. Max Richet, he is definitely in some... he's definitely got the clutch on that one there. As you see it pop back out into gear to start driving the car more. And let's take a look at Tom Senchek. Doesn't look like he's really in conservation mode. So looks like the only one right now that may be in conservation mode is, as you can see, Max Richet drop it down to fourth gear there and kind of clutch it there. And the key behind this, if nobody's ever done it or seen it done, he'll speed the car up to get right to the tail tank, sorry. Whoop, not sprint cars, B cars. Get right to the tail of the car in front of you, and then you just push the clutch in and let it coast there. As you see the RPM sit there at 2,000 RPMs. Just like he's doing there. You'll pop the clutch, drive the car up to the car in front of you, and just clutch it. And it is amazing how much fuel it actually will save doing that.
Oh, as we are watching Trent Ringler leading this race, and I think you're right on, Brad. I think he's got it right in fourth gear, just coasting around here as best he can. Lights are off. Second attempt at a green-white check.
They're going to bring him down off of turn number 4 here. Second attempt at our green-white checkered here. Trent Ringler's going to bring him down. He's going to hit the loud pedal, and we are green for attempt number 2, green-white checkered. Oh, boy, Manex Richet there, side by side with Yvonne Hebert. As Richet's going to pull out clear. Now Tom Senchek's going to make a move under Yvonne Hebert. Down the back straightaway. Oh, they made contact! Senchek's in the wall! Senchek's in the wall off the nose of Yvonne Hebert, and the big one at Atlanta Motor Speedway happens on attempt number 2 of the green-white checkered. Boy, oh boy. If that doesn't throw a rag into everything, I don't know what will.
Wow. The field just exploded in turn number 3 on green. Attempt number 2. Wow. Did not. Wow. So
all right, we're going to take a look here. As they come off the corner, Senchek's going to get a good run down the back straightaway here on Yvonne Hebert, I believe it is. They're going to go side by side, and I can't tell, it's so hard in these B cars. There's so much dirty air back there that, it's when you get side by side like that, there's so much air moving. It could be as simple as Yvonne Hebert getting in the dirty air and that causing the two cars to come together, but Senchek and Yvonne Hebert right there make contact, noses into the wall, and I'll tell you what, Steven, Adam Ross, as we watched right there, maybe a little bit of contact, nothing bad. Adam Ross may be one of the luckiest guys at the Atlanta Motor Speedway right now.
Wow. Look at that. Now, he did get a little piece of the wall, but watch him go down into turn number 3. As the wreck is going to happen in front of him here. And he is battling. There you see Senchek gets turned around, around, and look at Adam Ross drive right through the middle of it. Wow. Now that's let's watch as this accident happens. Ross going to bring it off of turn number 2. And as he works down the back straightaway, watch Senchek. Right-hand turn into the fence. And, oh my goodness gracious.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Kyle Busch couldn't have done it better himself.
No.
Wow. I'll tell you what.
We might need to bring him in, Brad.
I think
Adam
we might need to
Ross,
bring him a new pair of underpants.
Yeah, Steven and Brad in the broadcast booth, man. How's your underpants?
You know, the nice thing about virtual racing is you don't have to virtually shit yourself when something like that happens. So, it was exciting.
Wow.
You want to slow down, but you got to drive through it. Now, this is where that pit stop that I made comes in big.
Oh, yeah.
I know guys that are, well, Jim Smith just pitted because he had 0.4 gallons of fuel, and that's not enough. I'm surprised he can still run these pace laps.
Yeah, we were looking at it, not only, and you just brought it up, you know, we weren't even looking at the fuel perspective. We were just looking at it from tires, but both of those things are coming into play here at the end.
Oh, my tires are junk. I drove pretty hard there. It's pretty skatey for all of us. I feel bad because we had a really good race going on. It looked like a fantastic battle at the front before these yellows. It would have been nice to see how it would have shaken down. It's kind of turned into some chaos.
I'll tell you what, guys, looking at the front of Yvonne Bear's car, he's got a lot of damage, missing the nose off that car, as he's actually going to have to bring it to pit road. And I'll tell you what, guys, if there's any one thing that I could describe this race that's reminding me of right now, is I feel like we're back at Super Dirt Week. I feel like we're about to watch Vic Coffey roll across the start-finish line with 0.1 gallons.
Well, Adam, I don't know how you feel about being compared with Vic Coffey, but man, if it works out tonight, wow.
We have about the same figure, me and Vic Coffey, so that's a fair comparison.
All right, man. Good luck to you here on this restart.
Yeah, feel free to leave me here if you want, guys. I got nothing left to say to Ridley and Prairie and the boys. I'm just going to hang on tight.
Well, we'll keep him here, Brad. What do you think?
Let's do it.
These starts and restarts are wild. It's really, really hard to get on the throttle. We're all starting in second gear, so you got to get to third gear as quick as you can without getting sideways, and even in third gear you can spin the tires. And then with all the body damage and old tires, I don't know where this car is going to go down in 1 and 2.
Man, this is going to be exciting.
And I'll tell you, Steven, look who's in 5th place. Gilliam Levesque.
Gilliam Levesque
makes his way. And I'll tell you, this is what a race.
What a race it has been. Coming back to the green flag, our third and final attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Ringler hits the gas. Look out! Contact here on the front straightaway.
That was horrible. It kicked. I thought it was going to kick sideways. I did not expect that.
Oh boy, a tough break there for Adam Ross. That puts us back under the yellow. And Brad, I think that's going to make this race official.
I think you're right.
I do think
3 attempts, I believe.
Yeah. So Trent Ringler is going to bring it around. He's going to catch up to the pace car. Or actually, that could be the checkered. Actually, I'll be honest with you, Brad.
White flag, yep.
White flag, okay. So white flag is out here, presented by 3-9 Productions, and it is for Trent Ringler. Ringler down the back straightaway for the final time. The driver of the 5-Star Racing, number 26. Brad, he had one of the strongest cars all night long tonight.
He's got the car off. I wonder how much fuel he's got left to make it back.
Oh, that's a good point, and he can't pass the pace car.
I hope he's not out of gas.
Oh, my goodness. Is he out?
I think he's out.
I think he's out of gas.
Is he going to make it back to the line without help? Oh, wow. Wow.
Wow. Go back to the in-car, Brad. Is he truly out?
Oh,
he
may have been dogging it there. Wow.
Goodness.
Man, I don't know. I think he's out of gas right now. He may have gotten the car to fire. I think he's out of gas. Trent Ringler crossed that start-finish line with no power under the hood. Wow. What a finish tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's Trent Ringler. He's going to have to coast. I bet he's going to, well, I guess he technically won't have to have a push. He can just hit that escape button, reset button, as Ken Schrader like to. Oh, he is going to maybe not get a push. Oh, they're just going to clean the tires on the apron. All right, well.
How about that finish, huh?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Whew.
And Ringler doesn't have enough to get it back to the front.
Oh, boy.
Well, Brad, give us the rundown of the top 5. I had to back out of my screen here. Give us a rundown of the top 5 if you got the results right there. Oh, there we go. Trent Ringler picks up the win here tonight. Marcus Ulmer finishes second. And, Brad, we're going to get to talk to Frank Guerri on the podium.
How about that?
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and we'll get your top 3 into the booth here, and we'll start with third place finishing Frank Guerri. Frank, wow, brother. Third place finish here tonight in the first round of the playoffs here at Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky there. So I got a lot of breaks tonight, and all luck. All.
Tell us about some of those breaks at the end. Were you able to miss the big wreck in turn 3?
Yeah, I was able to miss it because I was like 10 seconds off the pace with my motor was hurt. I had that thing floored. I probably would have got lapped in the green white checker. That thing was hurt so bad, but I was just trying to make it to the end. So again, a lot of luck. And then that last restart, I knew it was our last green white checker, and I said it wouldn't suck if somebody spun their tires and wrecked on this green. I really didn't want it to be Adam.
Yeah,
but that's the way it happens, and we'll take what was given to us tonight.
This was probably one of the crazier races we've called all season long. And, boy, what a way to finish it out. Brad's showing the replay here coming to that final restart. And, yeah, Adam spun the tires, and we had him in here in the booth with us for that restart. And Brad's showing the video right now, and, boy, the car, when the tires spun, his car hooked to the right in a big way. And Frank, when the tires spin, is that a direction that you necessarily expect it to go?
No, not always. It depends on really where you're at on the track. But Jim Smith spun the tires earlier, and he went up too. So I was kind of cautious if Adam did spin the tires. But again, my car was hurt so bad, I really didn't even have to get out of the gas.
Yeah. Well, man, what a way to finish it out here tonight. I know that you got some luck to go your way. This could be good signs once we actually get to go big car racing this year.
I really hope so. That I've struggled in the big car racing with luck the last couple of years, so a little luck this year wouldn't suck. And I have a lot of fun. I just want to thank all these guys for putting this on for us, and you guys do a hell of a job. I want to thank Kovacic and Adam and Jamal and Kevin. We all work on setups all week long, and another night I didn't have a lot of speed. I just got lucky, so thank you guys.
Well, man, we look forward to seeing you this weekend at the Land of Legends Invitational in that Schwoopty Sandal Service number 113. Good luck to you this weekend.
Thank you. Elbows will be up. I'm ready to shred.
All right, man. There's Frank Guerri finishing in position number 3 tonight. We're going to bring in second place finishing, I believe it was Ulmer. And Brad, I'm taking a look here. I don't see him in the chat. Oh, there we go. Marcus Ulmer. There we go. Marcus, Steve and Brad up here in the announcer's booth. You got a copy?
I have a copy.
Hey, congratulations, man. What a finish here tonight.
I know. That was something else that just kind of hanging around. wreck there on that last or second to last green white checker. I managed to get through there. So.
Not a bad way for you and Trent to finish it out here tonight.
I know. No, I gotta give Trent most of the things. You know, worked on the setup Sunday, and he really put together a good one. So and Callum. So I think all three of us had pretty good cars tonight.
Absolutely. What's the toughest part here at Atlanta? I mean, we talk about tires all the time, but it seemed like fuel was a huge concern at the end of this race, just as much as tires might have been.
Yeah, definitely. That was we were kind of talking there the last maybe with about 22 to go. Figured if it went green, we could probably make it. Might have to save a little bit. So that was definitely a big thought for us.
Well, man, a solid effort for you here tonight. First podium of this season here with the Rivalz Blacktop Series. Who do you got to thank to get you here?
Oh, definitely. Just want to primarily thank Trent and Callum for working on the setups and giving me tips and things. So just, again, I want to thank everybody at Rivalz. Just really put on a nice race. Adam and Martin and everybody. So.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
All right, there's Marcus Ulmer finishing in position number 2 tonight. And now we're going to bring in the driver who picks up the big win here tonight. And we're going to bring him up here to the broadcast booth. And Trent Ringler, this is absolutely nuts at the end. And you pick up the win, but it wasn't because of how nuts the race was. You had a strong car all night long tonight.
Yeah, the car was really, it was so good. This wasn't really anything. Well, I got loose, I guess, a few times, about wrecked, but it was really good. Yeah, it was fast.
It looked like turn 2 was kind of your bread and butter tonight. You could rotate off of turn 2 better than anybody, and that's how you were really able to set up a few of your runs here tonight.
Yeah, it was so much better than everybody else coming out of 2. It was pretty easy to set that up and get to their inside with the run down the back. Yeah, without that, I wouldn't have been able to make a lot of the passes, but it was definitely really good in 2.
Now, there at the end, you know, this is the first time all season long that we've gone the distance on green-white checkered finishes, and I know fuel was a big concern there for a lot of guys going 3 green-white checkers at the end.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention, and I ran out right at the line.
Wow.
I discovered that I needed to save coming down the back. I noticed we were pretty light on fuel.
Wow. What a way to finish it out here. You had, not only that did you pick up the win tonight, but you had Marcus in tow, finishing second, a nice 1-2 finish for the team tonight.
Yeah, it was. Marcus did a great job getting through all that. Those restarts are really tough on the old tires. I kind of figured that was going to be kind of bad, especially if a bunch of people stayed out. But that's why I stayed out, because I figured others would. And I just wanted to make sure I was in front of all that.
This was a rough race for a lot of guys here tonight, especially guys that, you know, we expected to be guys that were going to compete for this championship. They may not even make it out of the round of 16. We'll have to see how the points shake out. What are your thoughts as we get ready to head for the round of 12 at California next week?
Yeah, a couple of guys, Swickert, that's too bad for him. He's definitely a competitor. Just going down the list here, Claude, I think he'll make it in.
Yeah, we saw that Sylvan Jolie had some problems tonight. Kevin Ridley had some problems tonight. I mean, there were some heavy hitters that it's going to come down to every last stage point that they got here tonight.
Yeah.
But tell us about your thoughts about California as we get ready to go there to Auto Club.
Oh, I like Auto Club. Looking forward to going there. So that's going to be, I think that'll be a really good race there at Auto Club.
Absolutely, man. Great run here tonight. Who do you have to thank for getting you the win tonight in the 26 machine?
Oh, all the guys at 5 Star Racing. Just being able to, hang around a lot of those guys. It's a big help. So they know a lot of the, ins and outs of building these setups, so it makes it a lot easier for me to tune up.
Well, man, congratulations, and we will see you at California next week. Should be a hell of a show.
Yeah, thanks, fellas.
All right, there's Trent Ringler, winner tonight here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and boy, what a way to do it here at Atlanta, Brad. This race was absolutely crazy. We even saw a big one there at the end, and I cannot wait to get to California next week, where we will compete with the round of 12 here in the chase for the championship for the Rivalz Blacktop Series. And that is going to do it here for us here from the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. I want to thank everybody from the Rivalz Racing League and the Rivalz Blacktop Series for having us aboard to bring you live coverage here tonight on GeForce TV. Don't forget to subscribe to us on youtube.com/GeForce TV. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell while you're there to get notifications pushed right to your mobile device to let you know when we go live for live video action, as well as anytime we post new on-demand streaming content. On behalf of our executive producer, Brad Ovens, in the 3-9 Production Studios, my name is Steve Ovens, the voice of the Rivalz Blacktop Series, saying thank you for joining us, and we will see you next Wednesday night from the Auto Club Speedway in California for the round of 12 for the chase for the championship. From the Atlanta Motor Speedway, congratulations to Trent Ringler, winner of the round of 16. We'll see you next Wednesday night. Good night, everybody.
Introducing GeForce TV. GeForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GeForce TV is also the new home for Rivalz Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GeForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivalz and GeForce TV racing leagues. GeForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GeForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GeForce TV.